Live again. Sorry for that little delay there. I'm so sorry. Thank you for showing up. Hopefully you can see me fine. Hopefully you can hear me fine. Good. Very chaotic here. I think I got everything all set. Just make sure you can hear me. Make sure you can see me fine, and I appreciate that. I don't have any help today. I got to put this on mute. Hang on. I'm going crazy here. I'm going absolutely nuts. I don't even know how I'm making it through the day. It's overwhelming. It's like, oh, it's absolutely overwhelming. I don't know how I do it. Good to see you, Jim. Appreciate it. Sarah, thank you for joining me. I gotta get rid of this banner. We're going to talk today about the biggest mistakes you can make with EDDM when doing EDDM campaigns. So this should be a pretty good episode, Jack. Good to see you. Les, good to see you. Oh, he's fine. I think the nurse called and called me on Snapchat, and because we know the nurse, but she had him sitting there. His stomach wasn't hurting. It was hurting, and he wouldn't eat. And I think he just had to poop. I have a feeling he just, because he came home and pooped, and he was fine. So I'm assuming he's fine. A lot of people have a stomach bug right now, but we've luckily to avoid it, and hopefully we're fine. Thank you. Oh, good to see you there. I appreciate that. Thursdays may be a better day. Tim Black, who should be on here, who held me up for good reasons, but he mentioned Thursdays are better for him. Maybe we'll move it to Thursdays. I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate that. You like my hoodie? It's a great story behind this hoodie, but good to see you, Tim. Holding me up on my live stream here at the last second. Thank you. I appreciate that. Blessing. Good. Yes, thank you. Son. This one was son. Little boy. Little 7-year-old. Yeah, I think he just said to. Yes, you do. It's okay. It's okay, Scott. I mean, Sky has a fantastic review card product out, and his work is all done, and mine is like 90% done, but I am holding it up from everyone right now. And I hope to get that done. It's okay. Same thing. They're all the same little jerks. Joey, good to see you. I'm just going to throw this banner up that says top EDDM mistakes you can make. Just so it shows up. Okay, so we are going to talk about that. I don't know how long we'll talk about that for, but we will spend however much time we need to. There are a lot of I see mistakes all the time, and I struggle with myself. Like, do I mention these? Like, I see postcards all day. It's just a constant influx from businesses all over, and I'm very grateful for that. But I see mistakes all the time. I mean, like, I rarely see like a card that I say that this is great. There's nothing wrong. I always see something wrong. If I pointed every single thing that I think is wrong out, I would be holding up everyone's campaigns, and it would be a never ending, and I would turn into a consultant, and I would be consulting with 100 minutes. I can't. I have to often just print, you're giving me this thing, you made it, let's do it. So they're not always perfect. It's fine. That's fine too, but I do struggle with myself. Like, do I point out if there's something is super glaringly bad, especially like typos and stuff, I will point those things out, but not, direct mail is second nature to me now at this point, and it's never perfected. You're never can't perfect it, because a lot of it is just an art. It's not a total science, but you can. Oh my God, how do I mute this phone? God dang. They will never be perfect, and done is better than perfect. So here's what it is. But here's some things. Hopefully, if you're thinking about doing an EDM campaign, or you have done one and you want to make better ones, this video will help. I think it will help tremendously. And if you have anything to weigh in, you can. But let's go through all these slides that I have, because there's so much. Oh, I saw you. I saw you, Joey. I thought I'd seen a new person, but it was just Joey. There's so much. How do I turn this off? See, I could have this all buttoned. I have a little Stream Deck thing where I can hit buttons and do it, but I'm not. I forget about that. There we go. Number one is wrong sizing. So this is definitely a mistake that you can make, is having the wrong size. And this is where you print on the wrong size, they get rejected. Like, that's the kind of the worst mistake you can make, because it never even makes it to the mailing. If it's the wrong size, there's a chance that it can get rejected. There's a chance it can get approved, but make these the right size. I mean, we don't have to make a lot of time on this. There's right, and I have many videos on YouTube of what the sizes look like. 6x9s and 6.5x9s get tripped up all the time. And then some people will do 4x6s. And I think a lot of this is because Vistaprint doesn't have a category of EDDM. So they just say postcards, and they'll tell people, yeah, that you send postcards. So I get orders all the time that people will be like, I printed 6x9s through Vistaprint. They told me, or I thought it was compliant, and it wasn't when it got to the post office. And even marketing firms and stuff, there's businesses that are using like marketing agencies, and they're not that familiar with EDDM, and then they end up doing a 6x9 and it's the wrong size and it gets rejected, and your postcard goes nowhere. So that's a huge mistake, of course. Big mistake. Yeah, and the temporarily, it's not the trace, it's right here. I just want to turn that phone off. It just rings all day. It just nonstop buzzes and beeps and rings. I'm very grateful. I have to remind myself constantly. Very grateful, but it is nonstop. When I finish this live show, I will look at my inbox, and it will be a total wall of new and continued conversations, and it's over. I don't know how I do this. I feel like, but I watch these videos of like neurologists, neurosurgeons, cardiothoracic surgeons, and because I've been trying to find like how they manage it, because I find a lot of similarities, and I watch and I'm like, this is the same thing I'm doing. I'm waking up at the crack of dawn, and I'm starting work like very early and ending very late, and it's just a non-stop stream of this and that. And sometimes things happen, emergency, and you've got to dedicate all your attention to something that came up. You've got to reschedule other things and prioritize other things, and it's a day in, day out, non-stop. If there's a comm, there's something wrong. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I think I'm in the same boat. I would just do it. I don't know why I'm talking about that. It has no bearing on you. Next thing, wrong side. We talked about this. I have some examples. I didn't prepare them very well. Mary Grace is going to kill me because she just organized some of this stuff. She was just in here organizing, and I'm going to deorganize all this. She's going to be really upset if I don't put these things back, because she just spent all this time organizing this, and I'm going to end up losing this giant thing of samples. I can't even find the stuff. I'm so sorry. I can't even find what I'm looking for. That's how bad it is. I can't even find it. I'm trying to show the freaking stuff, and I saw it. I can't even find it. It's depressing. I can't find it. All right. Well, whatever. I gotta keep it moving. Don't put. I have a video on this. We talked about this before. The indicia side. Since I put this video out, I've had so many much better campaigns, which is great, because business owners are now putting this indicia on the right side. You want the indicia. You want or if you're sending a targeted mailing, you want that address, that mailing label, to be on the most important side. This is a massive influencer of the response you get. You want that indicia and address part on the side, the most important side. Everyone wants to put it on the back side, or the side that has all this walls of text and extra information. And then they put the front side as the beautiful visual part of it. You need to put the indicia on the good side. I wish I had the example it's like the best example. I don't know where it is. I saw it, but I was just so down to the wire. I don't know. Man, I feel so bad because I don't have. Wait, there it is. There it is. I see it on the ground. This because I got this in the mail, and I love these people. But this is like the best example. It's the absolute best example of this. Restaurant I love, local restaurant, comes in the mail, comes to our office for catering. This is what it looks like. So this is what you see. You just see this when you're doing the mail, and this looks like nothing. This is nothing. But on the other side is this beautifully branded, well-known catering thing. Like a lot of people will never see this. Why are you putting the address on this side? Don't make this mistake. Don't make that mistake, because no matter how good your product or service is, if they're not seeing it, then it's not going to do any good. It's going to get thrown out, and you're going to wonder, you're going to blame direct mail when it might have just been you had the address side on the wrong side. Aloha, Bruce. It's good to see you. Mahalo. A good way to get local businesses to share the space. 9 by 12 is good if your goal is to make money, help businesses and put together an advertising platform. 9 by 12 is an advertising platform. It's you're creating a piece of real estate. And the goal is to get as many ads pretty much as you can so that it's cheaper overall for them and more profitable for you, and create an ad platform. The 9 by 12 is the way to go. But there's other reasons to get other businesses on a mailer too. You could do like an M3 card where there's three businesses and you're just trying to get a lot of exposure. See, I have all these here and I can't find them. There's so many. I can't find them. And I don't want to take all day just looking. But like you could have two ads. Maybe you just want two ads on a card like this. You got three ads, right? Three ads. You can put the same three on the back, or you can put another three and have six. Maybe you just want to get a lot of cards out and you don't want to pay for them, or you just want to get your buddies on and you want to help, or you're doing consulting and you want to help your client get a lot of mailings for a very low cost. And you go out and find two other partners. That's a good strategy too. Don't want to get too off track here. Not sending repeatedly. That's another one. If you're not sending your cards, if you're not committing to sending these cards over a specific period of time, that's a big mistake. You cannot send, especially in real estate. I know a lot of you guys are real estate agents, real estate, insurance, high ticket stuff like it could be like car dealerships, mattress, furniture. If you are just sending one mailer out, you cannot expect to get response on high ticket items. You just can't on things like once in a lifetime or few in a lifetime purchases like cars and insurance policies and mortgages, buying houses, selling houses. These are large decisions. These are very big decisions that don't get made a lot. You cannot expect to send one postcard out, especially if you're not even well known yet, and people will be responding to it. It is better to send a smaller amount repeatedly and commit yourself to 3, 6, 9, 12 months. However long you can. The phone is now it's buzzing. I don't even know how. I don't know if someone could tell me on iPhone how to shut off a buzzer. I don't know how. It buzzes. I put it on the silent and it buzzes. So now you just don't hear you don't hear beeping, you hear buzzing. Forever grateful. I have to remind myself, forever grateful for the business. Better to send a small area repeatedly than a larger area once, particularly for large investment purchases, large decisions. I don't know how to do the do not disturb. Don't know how to do it. Focus mode or something. Will that make it quiet? I don't know how to do it. Can someone tell me? I'm new to iPhone by a year. Come from Android, so there's the features I don't know. I do no. The switch on the left just makes it quiet. That's what I clicked. I clicked down the switch on. All I see is it's just nonstop. It's so bad. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'm surprised I'm not a drug addict or something. I won't touch drugs because I know I'll get addicted to them. That's how I've always been. I'm like, I'm not touching because I take a heroin or something and I'm going to be a freaking addict in the streets in no time. Or the Adderall, that's the one that I want to try it because it makes you super productive and it gives you superpowers or something. I know I'll get addicted to it. So I don't touch that. I don't touch drugs at all. I'll try this. It's not technology, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Focus. Okay, I remember that. I remember that one. Send repeatedly. Please send repeatedly. Not sending to the same area. That's another one. Big mistake. If you're going to rotate, and 9 by 12 this is okay because there are exceptions to all these rules. There are exceptions. Some situations are always different. But in general, you want to mail to the same area. If you are doing a mailing to one area and then doing a mailing to another and you're not going back to any of these things over a period of every other or every third month, every quarter, you are wasting your time, or you're wasting your probabilities. So don't just send one to one area, another to another area, another to another area, and hope to get ROI, get a return on your investment in every area. Your response will almost always pick up every mailing you do to the same exact area. It will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it will plateau. And hopefully it will just plateau. It won't even die. You will just continuously mail to the same area. That's how real estate farming works. It's a lot of this works because people by nature, we procrastinate, we see things, we don't think of it. Maybe it's off season, it's in the back of our minds, but we need another reminder. We need another thing so that after a while, when you suddenly want that thing or you need it, something comes up, they are the top of mind. The mailbox is not cluttered. The mailbox is not a cluttered place. I guarantee, no matter where you are, when you look in the mailbox, you are not seeing many local businesses. You're seeing junk mail. You're seeing maybe some things you subscribe to in big corporate chains, and maybe once in a while you see something local come in. But you don't see local like businesses that much. And if you do, you might see them once or a political season and you see all this stuff suddenly. But you rarely see a local business that advertises continuously in your mailbox. And if you are working with a local business or you are a local business owner, you have this just great spot to get in front of people because it's very pleasantly received, especially if it's something that they are likely to want. Addicted to bacon. I like both bacon. I like bacon and turkey bacon. That's a safe addiction. Fine, gotta look. Oh, good job, Ty. That's awesome. Can I just apply the post indicia? I need to add local posting. You still need that local postal ID if you're doing EDDM, assuming you're doing every door direct mail, not to a list. Congratulations, though. That's a huge achievement. Can I just just put it on there, and you can always just send it to me. Just send, if you're making in Canva, I'll set it up so you've got it. I am more than happy. I mean, we have really four of us, but two, three, four of us that can get to your artwork. Like if you send that, even I may do it myself. We'll make sure it's compliant. But yes, you will need that on there, on the right side of the card. Give it up for a tie. That's fantastic. Solar mailers are great. They are really great. You don't have to sell multiple ads. Another EDM mistake, picking EDM when you maybe should be targeting. EDM is not always the perfect solution. Every door direct mail. For those of you that don't know, every door direct mail is where you mail to a whole carrier route, like an entire area, the route that a mail carrier goes around on. Targeted mailing is where you mail to a precise list, like certain demographics, certain sex, certain income range, certain whether they're homeowner or not. This is a difficult discussion that I have with a lot of people when they're thinking, because they're enticed by EDDM being so cheap. It's so much cheaper. It's in the end, it's not always cheaper. It's cheaper at the front, but it's not actually cheaper, because if you think a street, if you visualize a street and you're sending mail to that whole street, not everyone on that street is a target of whatever you're selling. Let's say you're a contractor in home services or something. Not everyone on that street, I guarantee you, not everyone on the street is a renter. Maybe in some neighborhoods, a large portion are homeowners, but they're not all. There's going to be some renters in there. There's going to be some people that are 80 years old, they're 90 years old. There's going to be some people who are thinking about selling and don't want whatever service. There's some people that are broke. There are people that there are a lot of non-targets. So on any given street route, there's going to be a percentage, probably a hefty percentage of people that are non-targets. They're just not targets. They have a near zero chance of responding. So when you send, say, 1,000 EDDM postcards out, depending on your industry, depending on a lot of factors, there may only be 10%, 20% of those people are actual targets. So you're maybe only hitting 100, 200 targets out of those 1,000. So if you think about that, the postage is actually quite higher. Like to read per target is really high for EDDM. Now, some things like ice cream and pizza, there's such broad appealing range. You wouldn't target someone who is more apt to like pizza. It's just basically everyone. But when you start talking home services and especially really niche things like maybe mental health or something, like you should really consider targeted mailings as well. You should weigh that cost because even though targeted mailings cost roughly twice as much as EDDM, they hit your targets they every time for the most part. So they are much more efficient, effective, but EDDM is quicker, it's cheaper, and it's faster, it's easier. And sometimes you can just make EDM work, and then you can do a targeted mailer to enhance it. I also like the fact that in targeted mailings, you can pick multiple areas of a city. You can pick a whole 50-mile radius, or you can select multiple neighborhoods and just send to all those areas to the demographics you want. Where in EDDM, you would have to do 100,000 EDDMs just to reach the same wide area. Daytona Beach, Florida real estate, Justin Barton and team. And I love. I don't. If I had it done, I would show it, but I probably have it done tomorrow. Your latest postcard is if you would let me show it on the next video. It's so beautiful. You guys make the most attractive real estate postcards. I can tell you that they make beautiful postcards, and your latest one is really neat. I love your postcards. All the credit in the world to you guys, except I changed the wording a little bit on one, which looked better on the last one, the most recent one. But huge shout out to them because I absolutely love your guys' postcards. Oh, I just saw that. Targeted mailing can still be cost effective to do the share. Yes, I don't know why I didn't mention that. Thank you, Char Daddy. Share the cost of a targeted mailing. So do like an M. Here we have an M3, M6. You can do. I have better examples, but this is the one I have in front of me. Get a business on. You can do this if you're the business or you're working with businesses. You're trying to make this as a side hustle or your marketing agency. Get multiple businesses on this and target the. I wish I had them. They look almost identical. It just needs a larger address area right here. Target the same. Find businesses that want to target the same targets. This can also be B2B. So maybe you want to send them to businesses like I've been called sticky sellers. Just get a bunch of businesses that want to reach businesses. It could be restaurants that want to do catering orders and water supply companies and commercial property, commercial real estates, all sorts of janitorial services, but as well as B2B. Maybe you want to put something together that just reaches homeowners that make over $100,000 income, that are homeowners that are between ages, whatever, and then you get 3 different home services on there. Or maybe you're a real estate agent and you want to reach a certain crowd. Maybe get on there with your mortgage originator or home services, inspection, pest control, and you share the cost. Everyone wins. In exchange of you doing the connecting, the patching together of everyone on the card, you get it you might even get it paid for. If you charge enough to cover your own costs, you get it free. I built my whole remodeling business on that from scratch. I went from like 0 to 100 in like a month. I was getting 35,000 postcards out a month, and I wasn't paying for any of them. I mean, I was getting tens of thousands of dollars in advertising free. Built my remodeling business up from complete disaster when I split partnerships, and then I had to restart with employees and everything. That was my saving grace. And I've seen many businesses and helped many businesses do the same. You can have as much advertising as you want for free, as much as you want. There's nothing else like that. You can't share Facebook ads, you can't share SEO, but you can share postcards. You can get businesses that are and charities and all sorts of things that want to reach the same exact audience that you do or that your clients do, and just join everyone up on the card. Do the hard work of putting people together, and you get the advertising for free. Oh, let me get it. Wait, I'm gonna share it because I love it. I'm gonna get it on your graphic, and no one will mind waiting. Do I have one of your? I might have one of your old ones. I love your. I mean, not really old. They're like fairly recent, which were really beautiful. I might have one of those here in my samples. Mary Grace, just all the samples are flying everywhere. I don't. Okay. Wait, hang on. I'll show you the. Yes, right here, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love it. I love your guys' latest postcard. I am going to share it by. How do I share it? I got to download. Just 1 second here. I do it. I download his PNGs. 1 and 2. So good. You guys using Prime Seller? Do you use Prime Seller leads? I think you do. You wanna see a good, real estate card. This is good. This is really good. For any real estate agents watching this, you're gonna like this because this is good. It's just visually really good. I don't get excited about postcards that much anymore. I mean, I do, but, like, I don't see ones that are really stand out, but yours do. And I don't have nothing to do with it. You guys did it, besides changing one word. I just have to upload it. Hang on. I think I upload it here. I should know this. I've been using this thing for 8,000 years. Okay, there's the back. Where's the front? I have no help. No help. Page 2. Oh my God. So many buttons. It's worth it if you want to see a really good real estate card. And not to knock any of the other real estate clients or customers, agents that are watching this, but here's something that you should look up to. It's just really nice. I think I'm almost there. I have a silent mouse now. I'm so excited about it. It doesn't make the clicky noise all the time. I show you both sides. You get 2 for 1 here. Nicole Gilmore, thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Compliments. Yes. Yeah. Good thinking. Yes. Easter, spring, fall. There's always some kind of theme. There's always country, and you can have a realtor. I know there are a lot of realtors on there. You can sponsor the card. You can, and if you're a marketer, you can work with a real. Would you like to sponsor this card? Maybe put your ad on here, and then they get to say sponsored by Daytona Beach, Florida real estate. Yeah, Prime Seller Leads the best. I love Prime Seller Leads because my man Josh there sends the stuff, pings you right as people scan it, or right as people put their address in, and these other places don't. And you lose in business if you're not using them. Okay, that's hers. Isn't that awesome? That's the front and that's the back. It looks a little weird because it's low resolution on Canva. Look at that. I love the money. Look at that. I love it. Find out in only 30 seconds. What's your Daytona home worth? Find out in only 30 seconds. It's so good. Like I hope Scott Meisner's watching this too, because he's always got real estate clients interested in this stuff. Isn't that good? It's so visual. It's so modern. You see real estate cards, and they're always so professional looking, and they're just so corporate-y. They're so corporate and maybe aesthetically proper designed, but they don't pop. Like they use the word pop. Like it's not every so often that you see a real estate postcard that comes out that pops. That's like very instantly, wow. And this is it. It hits the marks. It's got big visual, not much info. Everyone wants to cram so much info, but there's no reason to cram all this info. No one really, I hate to say this, but no one really cares about like your history or we've seen it all. We've seen the little blurbs of how much you're going to help. Like every realtor under the sun does those, but here it's just, I love the money flying. I mean, when you're going to sell your house, like you want to make as much money as you can. Like that's your goal. Like you just want to make as much. You want the real estate agent to sell it as much as you can. You want to know how much you can get for this home. And when you see the money flying around, it's a little bit greedy. Like you are greedy when you're selling a home. Like it hits the marks. I love it. Sherry says the card looks great. At least we got one person that likes them. You see it. Where's the address on a card? We don't even look at how nice that is. I love that. That's an example of a very good. It takes a lot. Of, and she's got the about me. Look, she doesn't have to cram it. She doesn't have to cram this onto the card and show her whole life story on this card. You can scan it and then learn about, like, people are so used to this now. Okay, scan. And then that takes them online. It's that transition from Postcard to online, scan it, get the home value. Learn more here instead of just trying to shove every piece of text under the sun onto a postcard, which is what many realtors do. I'm not knocking them. That's what we all try to do by default. We're spending a bunch of money on campaigns. We want to put every ounce of text on these things. I understand the mindset, but it takes some confidence, some intestinal fortitude to put out postcards that don't have a lot of text and just have what is needed to get them online, which then pings them, then says, hey, someone just scanned this and put their valuation at 25 Rodeo Drive or whatever. Now you can market to them and contact them. It's amazing. You get so excited. Oh, Earl says, Earl, you like Earl is a long time real estate dude in California. So I'm really glad that he got to see this too. Excellent cards. Not every day we get to share an excellent card, but yours is definitely excellent. And I love your other one. I don't know if I don't have the other ones, but I'm going to waste time on those. The other ones are really beautiful too. They're really nice. I like them both. Not switching up sizes. That's another one. Every now and then you should switch up the size. It just keeps it fresh. And if you're doing mailings over a long time, and sometimes I get people that are like, I'm doing mailings every single month. Sometimes I'll be like, I know it could be better. It's working, but I know it could be better. And one of the quickest things that you can do to change, to just jump up responses is just every 3 months, every quarter, every 2, do a bigger postcard. If you make them all 6.5 by 9, do a 6.5 by 12, do an 8.5 by 11. It will pop out. They'll get accustomed to seeing the one from you often. And then you get the big one. And they're like, oh, must be more important. It stands out. It keeps it fresh. If you're doing 6.5 by 12s, you can go and do an 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12, something really big. Or you can go small. You can do the big ones and then go small. So just switch up the sizes every now and then. It's actually not the best idea for a solo mailer to do every single mailer they do at 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12. That can be too much. We don't want to annoy people. We don't want to make it a hassle for people, especially on really nice postcard stock, because when you have these really big cards, they're wait, is this one? These are nice because it's food, but it's a lot to like throw out. Like it's a lot. It's like, am I supposed to throw this out? It's really, and then they pile up and you have all these postcards. Why is this person spending so much money to send me this giant card? Send the small ones, mix in some big ones. 6.5 by 9 is already a really big size. I'm glad you're using prime seller leads. What's next? Not having any tracking. If we show her card again, we'll see tracking. The tracking is in the QR code. Some way of telling did they take an action on the card? QR codes are great for that. I used to not be a fan of QR codes for the longest time. I am now a big fan of QR codes. They come standard with every phone and people are accustomed to using them. It's not like before. It took a long time for QR codes to catch, but they have caught. Have some kind of tracking, whether that's a tracked phone number, whether that's a bit.ly URL, and have multiple ways to respond and ways to track. How did this come from? I'm working with someone on I don't even understand the business. It's some kind of like one of these things I don't understand. It's like a nonprofit type thing, and they provide these services and stuff. And they're doing a very large campaign over specific. It's like 3 or 6 months. It's like 25,000 pieces a month, and there's no way to track this. The only way for them to really tell is over time, will they get more business, more patients from the areas? And so you have to have some kind of internal tracking system sometimes to just figure this stuff out, which is great for me because it doesn't matter the response. They're just doing it anyways. And it's really smart on them too, because they will see an uptick in business, but have some kind of way to track these things. Sometimes I see postcards come through with zero tracking and zero way to, like, you can't even tell how they came in. And you get these contractors that put their phone number up and then they never answer the phone, right? And you can see it in the reviews. Sometimes I'll look up the reviews on these businesses just to get an idea who I'm working with, and you'll see, guy never answers his phone, which is constant, common in the home services. If you're a one-man show, maybe you're too busy. That's a internal logistical problem. Maybe you got to sort that out. But if you're going to do a postcard campaign, make sure you can track it in some fashion. Oh, that's beautiful. Right. About Me goes to private YouTube video so we can see the view count go up. Nice. Beautiful. It's so smart. It's so smart. I will share I have a method called backtracking that was invented by a client of mine, liquor store owner, and we were doing a postcard mailing a long time ago, and he said, I have an example. He said, he has a liquor store, right? He has a liquor store, and it was hard to so in a lot of businesses, you don't have a list. You don't know who the people responding are. So like food, liquor store, ice cream, you don't know who these people are. Like, it's not like you have their information. Like when you get a oil change and stuff, you know who they are because they go into the database. You get professional services, you know who they are. You can always market to these people. But restaurants, food service, businesses that don't know who the people are, but they're redeeming coupons, you don't have a way to respond, to market to them again. It would be great if you could just send mailings and stuff to these people, but you don't know who they are. Coincidentally, those kind of businesses that don't really have lists of databases of customers get the most response, like things like food. So he came up with, we were working on this together, and he came up with a solution. It was genius. I call it backtracking. This is a EDM card, so it's a little different, but on a targeted mailer where you have a address here in the corner, he said, what if we put the coupon on the other side? And it was like that. So I call it backtracking. We've used this so many times the last decade. So when they cut the coupon out, it actually has their address on the other side. So they're turning in the coupons, and now you have their address, and you can manually input their address into the list. So this is what you just said here was a very brilliant thing I never even thought of. Never even thought of that. Not having any incentive or scarcity. That's another one. If you don't have some kind of, they're not deadly. They won't kill. It won't kill a campaign to not have any kind of scarcity or incentive. And if you can have both, that's great. That's really great. There's a good book called Pitch Anything by Oren Clough. It was a really good book on pitching anything. And he's like a, what do they call it? Venture capitalist or something, sells like venture cap. I don't know. He had the book is really good. And it's like this totally new way at the time. It's like a different way of pitching people with very short attention spans and making things very visual. I've learned a lot from that book. A lot of my selling habits come from that book. But one of the things is that he's like, it should always be, anytime you're pitching something, and this is true on a postcard, anytime you're trying to convince someone something, you should kind of have it feel, you should have like timing, an opportunity. It should feel like there's this window of opportunity that's like rapidly closing. There's a window of opportunity that's these three different factors like timing and price and just some kind of series of events that are happening at this moment, which is creating this window of opportunity. So I often, when analyzing an offer, or building an offer, or writing copy, I try to think of that. What can we make that's going to make it feel like a window of opportunity? A series of events are kind of all triangulating together to create this window of opportunity. And using like their card here does have incentives. So it's hard on realtors to have incentives and stuff because you're limited, like by laws, you can't give coupons out and stuff. And the same with the insurance field. But this is why this is working so well, like the home values, and find out in only 30 seconds. That's a really good incentive. That's how you can get a really great incentive or like real estate. Hey, find out, I can scan this and find out in 30 seconds what's my Daytona home worth. So there's an incentive. Have an incentive, whether it's a coupon, a deal, an offer, a sale going on. And if you can tie scarcity into there by an expiration date or something, and I'm sure, well, most real estate, like if you end up on their webpage, there's probably going to be something that shows them like market, or maybe a separate postcard that shows them market events and things that are interest rates are rising, or maybe they've risen and here's why you need to do it now. Some kind of scarcity or reason, a collection of events that are happening that creates this window of opportunity. And you can always create one no matter what's going on. That's the beauty of like all this crap that goes on in the world. Like there's so many events and things, and you can news media channels are pros at this. They will create emotions out of a series of events. I mean, you can really make people believe the world is just about to end. You can make believe almost anything is about to happen. The market is about to crash. The market's about to boom. This is the time to buy now. This is why you should come here. These things are happening. There's a shortage of this. Get this now. Whatever your business is, I can almost guarantee you can, with some thought, you can apply recent events, economic times, whatever, into a window of opportunity of why you should go and do this thing now. That's how you can build really great scarcity and incentive. But put a coupon on. You know, people do EDDM cards. They don't have any coupons. They don't have any tracking. They don't have any deals. There's no reason to act now. There's no expiration date. There's no reason to do it now. Add that up and you'll see the little figures rise. That could be the difference between someone acting and not. Urgency. Yeah, scarcity, urgency. I mean, yes, you are correct. Not being instantly clear to understand. If your card is not quickly recognizable what you're offering, you know, if you have to dig through, and that comes a lot of times to whether the indicia is on the right side. You want that on the side where you want someone to instantly know, okay, this is about this. This is about this. Just like this example of the really bad card that I lost and then I found. I had no clue what it was until I turned it over. It's not clear. This is not clear what this is. This is really clear. It's food. It's a place I recognize. I recognize the brand identity. It says catering. It's very, very clear. Unfortunately, this is on the wrong side. This was not instantly clear because it was on the wrong side, but here it'll be instantly clear. Instantly clear. Don't load the thing with text. Don't load this up with text. Don't cram every microscopic meter of white space with text. You don't have to. If I have to look, I see someone's postcards, I can't even tell what they are all the time. Like, what is this? And you look and it's like a carpet company or something. And it took me 5 minutes to understand that this was about flooring or something, because he loads so much other stuff on it. You can't tell. People's attention spans are so short today. It's TikTok. You have to think of TikTok on a postcard. Asking for too much right away. Wait, I want to see. I love Bruce. Bruce says, I love Tiffany Garten's postcard, one of the best I've seen. Yes. Bruce works with a bazillion realtors, and Bruce has been in the printing industry for a long time. I'm sure he's worked with more realtors than I have. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a beautiful postcard? It's functional. It's not only just attractive, it's aesthetically nice. It's stands out, and it's just super functional, like super functional. You should be selling this template. You should be selling this to other realtors. Make $1 billion selling a thing to realtors. Would you send a 6x11 standard rather than a 6x9 too? No, I would go 6x9. I like 6x9s because of the new first class rate. I like first class. I like first class mail. It's so much faster. I just like 6x, and 6x9 is a really nice size. I don't have one in front of me, but it's a really beautiful size. 6x11 isn't, it's just more rectangular if you really need that space, but I don't see the trade. For me, I like first class, so I stick with first class. Now, that a year ago, before they had that discount, I would say 6x11 all the way. Did I do that? Oh, asking for too much right away. People cram a bunch of stuff they want people to do, especially involved decisions like real estate and insurance and health services and stuff. If you are trying to get people to just do way too much, in order to respond. See, this phone is just, it's buzzing again. You will lose them. Don't ask them to do too much. Tiffany's Postcard is great because you can just scan the code and they got you. They got you online. They took that next step. Little tiny steps. Apple. I'm a big Apple fan now. I used to hate Apple, and now I'm everything Apple. I got more Apple laptops and computers and Apple everything. Pencil, Apple's everything. I'm still learning it, but I love Apple Macs. They do a really good, I think it's called a ladder approach or something. It's where you have the base model of something. It's a very attractive price. And then you can bump it up a little bit to extra gigs of RAM. Then you can bump it up a little bit more. And I know that's nothing new. I know you guys have seen, but Apple does it really well. Like the way they do it is just really psychologically really well. They just get you hooked on the product, and then you will just make these little incremental changes that work you up to buying a spec'd out thing and spending hundreds. Then you're buying Apple Care after it. They have it down. They have that down to a science. Oh, are you? No, that was phone calls. I don't even want to look at my email. My email's gonna be bad. I just peeked at it. I see bulb. When you see nothing but black bolded headlines, you know what you're in for. I'm forever grateful. I have to just, would I do this thing, Catholics or whatever, they do that. How come I can't change this? Oh, was that it? That was all my things. I had like 12 slides or something. Not making it easy to respond. That was the last one. There's probably more I'm not thinking of. But if you don't make it easy to respond, QR codes are great. Text, have multiple ways to respond. People consume information over different ways. Some people like video. Some people want to watch a video. Some people want to read something. Some people want to text. I'm seeing postcards lately with like I'm doing a ton of landscapers, and some of these guys are doing text me for a free quote, and it's working really, really well. I've thought about doing a video on that too. I'm a little behind the curve. Behind it now. But text, like especially home services, people don't always want it. My chair keeps creaking. I buy new chairs. It's time to buy new chairs. I don't know what to buy. Multiple ways, text me at this. That can make a big difference. Like text me. People don't always want to pick up the phone. Like I don't like Sarah, my wife, girlfriend, same thing, partner. She doesn't like to call. Like she has a social. She's probably not watching. She's probably when I say this, but she has like a social. My daughter's like this too. They can't. And in fact, one of my employees is like this too. They cannot. It takes a lot for them to make a phone call, even to go to a store and like talk with like a bank teller or something. Like it's socially, they can't really do it unless it's absolutely necessity. It gives them such high anxiety, whereas text is very easy. And I know some people will say, why text or whatever, it's just how it is. It's challenging for some people to pick up the phone and talk. Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's just anxiety. But if you can throw texting in there or QR code or some other ways to communicate or take that next step, it can really make a huge difference, like a big, big, big difference. And I'm saying with these landscapers there, I'm seeing that come through with home services where it's like, text me here, text me there. Here's my cell, text me. Some will say like, text me, Mike at whatever for a free estimate. Pest control, that's another one. And they just like that. People like that. Gamma, am I saying right? It says, what's the biggest size EDDM approves? No, it's actually 12 by 15. You were pretty close, Tim. 12, it's 12 by 15, which is, I don't have a 12 by 15. I normally have an 11 by 14 next to me, but I don't. But I do. One of my, let's go Scott Meisney's. This is 11 by 14. 12 by 15 is 1 inch each side. So it's even bigger. You run into some difficulties with, you have to use thinner stock because these things you don't want to use really thick stock where it's hard to, where you want the post officer, the postal carrier to be able to, like a tortilla, just put it in like there and put the mail in there. You don't want them having to struggle to bend it and stuff. These are big. These are really big postcards, and they can get pricey. but you want to do them on thinner stock. Like this is 9x12. No, this is 9x12, for example, which is gigantic. And this is 11x14, and this is 5x7. Like, these are huge price difference, huge differences. But don't worry about the 12x50. You don't need to send a 12x15 mailer. You're correct. It's all right. It's the same thing, Tim. Same thing. I hope you guys like this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to put it on solo because that's all I've got. There's probably a lot more, but I had to whip this up on the top of my head yesterday. I apologize for not having enough YouTube videos out. I've been trying to put them out, and I am overwhelmed. I'm greatly overwhelmed, but forever grateful. And I appreciate all of your guys' support and viewership. And I hope everyone learned a lot. And thank you, Tiffany, and your whole team there for letting us share your card there. That's a really, like, agents can really learn a lot from just seeing a card like that. Like, that is a fantastic card. It is a fantastic card. You just see this card I got the other day. It's one of the most ridiculous ones. Not good. Well, kind of good, but crazy. Where's the bangers? I know. Trust me. I know. I got to do it. I got to put on the schedule. I know how I'm getting through these days. I don't know how. And I'm going to start bike commuting into work. I'm going to get my fitness in. And because I am like not going to the gym because I can save. I can get a head start on the day. Okay. I won't go to the gym. Now I can get an hour and a half of extra time I didn't have. And now find myself not going to the gym. I freaking disgusting slob. So I'm going to bike commute to work because I enjoy cycling. So I'm going to start cycling to work, and I can't spend every hour of every day. And I have employees. Like, I think I have a freaking multiple employees that are all tackling this. It's still incredibly challenging to handle. And I need to be doing things like the bangers, which are super important. Instead, I'm doing freaking 25-piece coroplast sign orders. I'm just kidding you, Tim. I love you, Tim. Thank you, Gamma. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a ton. I appreciate all of you guys. I will see you next week. Maybe we'll do Thursdays. If Thursdays are better, I don't have a problem doing Thursdays. Sometimes Wednesdays would be good for me to make YouTube videos. So Thursdays would actually be a good time. Thank you, Char. I appreciate that a lot. And you show up to almost all my shows. I really appreciate that a ton. Thank you. And we get a really good mix of business owners and marketers, which is nice. It's nice to have both of us because I don't like the whole marketer crowd thing where we're just, how can we extrapolate as much cash from these business owners as possible? We have to be helping these people. They're the lifeblood of all of us. Okay. Thank you, Tim. I know. I really wish I got one out last month because it's so good. Yes. Okay, Thursday. We can do Thursdays. Thursday's good for me. We'll switch it to Thursdays. Thursday's actually really good for me. Thursdays would be great. My ideal schedule would be Monday, YouTube video dropped on Monday. Thursday would be live stream and maybe another YouTube video on Friday. That would be a great schedule for me. I would love that. But in the worst case, Monday video drops, Thursday live stream. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic schedule. Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that. I don't know. The problem is I get 38 right now. I do get a lot of views afterwards, which is nice. That's pleasant. People watch it at 2 speed. I think it might be better. I feel like Thursday might be better, but I'm bad with emailing. If I email people early in the morning or the day before, then I'd have a lot more people showing up. But I email I had to pause the show in the beginning so that I could write the email because I couldn't write the email. I didn't have enough time. I was actually emailing you before the past half hour before the thing. So I couldn't even notify. Like, just notifying people is my own fault. They don't even know. Not everyone knows the time it's on. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to leave. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm going to have your mailings done. I think I'm going to have them done tomorrow. I don't know if we can push them out, get them prepared tomorrow. And shout out to Tim Black, too, with a 15,000 piece 9x12 that he just pushed out. That 15,000 piece. Yeah. You know how many reminders I have? Thank you. Yeah, 10 minutes after, of course, if freaking AWeber, I'm going to choke AWeber. Okay. Good night, everywhere. Good day, everyone, wherever you are. We didn't see Jim Hayes from Ireland. The stream didn't make it all the way to Ireland. Hopefully it will next time. All right. See you guys.